So Christmas is coming early this year as Game Pass is bringing some insane AAA Game Pass games coming very soon. I'm Sonny, your host here at Xbox Central, and we start this off with Aliens Dark Descent. This is a game that launched last year, and this is where you and your squad are tasked to stop a terrifying outbreak of aliens called xenomorphs from taking over the planet. Now, this game brings the iconic aliens from the movies you guys might know about in some brutal fights in open levels where you and your team have to work together with your specialized classes, and you'll be fitting them with guns, armor, and perks for each of your soldiers, while also managing your soldiers' resources in-game during the fights to the point where you have to even manage their mental breakdowns from happening to them, or you know what I mean, from them breaking down and losing it. And you'll be setting up safe zones and trying to survive. Now, the gameplay here does look pretty incredible. You do have this top-down camera angle, and at points you can even slow down the action to give commands to your squad. Now, the game has had nothing but positive user reviews since it released last year. It comes in also with a solid Metacritic score of 75, but sadly we will have to wait a little bit for this one as it doesn't land on Game Pass until November 27th, where it'll be on cloud, console, and PC. Now, in case you missed it, Game Pass has already released Spyro Reignited Trilogy, where it comes in with the remasters of the original Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon. If you guys are unfamiliar with this franchise, as iconic as it's been, it's one of the best original 3D platformers ever made, and it's why to this day this game has aged super gracefully, especially with these remastered versions. You also get this 3-in-1 package, so honestly you have so much here to play, and it gets no better than this as this is available to play now on cloud, console, and PC. So we got an announcement for a brand new AAA IP that's coming directly to Game Pass, and it's called Project TH. Now, this is a third-person action-adventure game that combines the epic thrill of Splinter Cell with the intense stealth gameplay of Metal Gear Solid. This should be enough to really give you an idea of what to expect from this game. Now, while there's still a lot to learn about this game, we know it's going to offer different yet connected storylines featuring a young soldier and a rising K-pop star, and this mysterious terrorist called the ID Ghost. Now, I have to admit, the game's looking really epic right now, and from what I've learned from the devs, they are using some sort of a real-time full 3D tech to create this hyper-realistic characters, which I'm sure is going to create some really cool epic cinematics. This one doesn't have a release date yet, but it will be available on Game Pass as a day one game release. So we have the newest Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is going to be one of the biggest releases of the year in both map size and popularity. The previous one already gave us the whole Earth to explore, but this one's adding more depth to the planet, and guys, we're no longer just flying around just for the sake of sightseeing. We're actually getting our hands on some high-stake aerial missions, from offering air ambulance services to taking out wild forest fires, from cargo delivery to construction sites to performing epic aerial stunts. Now, this game offers a whole lot of exciting new content, which, speaking of which, we're also getting brand new aircraft from old school jets to helicopters, and there's this massive passenger planes that are going to offer a authentic and a realistic diverse flying experience. This one is set to arrive on Game Pass on November 19th. And finally, guys, we are at the point where one of the most anticipated games to come out this year is finally arriving with S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. Now, I'm sure you guys already know a lot about it because everyone's been talking about it, and for good reasons. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is shaping up to be really a great sequel to an already amazing survival horror game that promises to really raise the stakes with more gruesome monsters, some really mind-bending anomalies, some insane factions that you'll run into, and so much more. But guys, the stakes are even higher as you will be getting more deadly weapons, insane new gear, and hopefully some allies, some friends that actually go ahead and tag along with you. The game looks really good, and since the devs took this extra time to really delay it to polish it a lot more, my hopes are going to be really high for this game. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is set to come out on Xbox Series X and X and PC on November 20th for Game Pass. So as you guys know, Genshin Impact is already set to join Game Pass. Even though the game's free to play, you can go ahead and pre-install it if you're a Game Pass subscriber. Now, as I said, it's free to play, it's an action RPG, and it's set in this gorgeous open world with a lot of stuff to do, and you can fight battles with some really challenging bosses, explore some breathtaking landmarks, socialize with other players, talk to interesting NPCs, and do a whole lot more. Now, it's been some time since this game released, but it's really created a huge, massive fan base. But if you are starting out on Game Pass, you're actually going to get a really really cool kickstart with tons of exciting rewards, including in-game bundles and the ability to actually play this on the cloud with Xbox Cloud Gaming. Genshin Impact arrives on Game Pass on November 20th for PC, Xbox, and xCloud. So we're closing in on a game that a lot of you might not really have in your radar, and that's the game Nine Souls. And guys, it's actually one of the highest rated Metroidvania games, and in fact it's actually one of the highest games of this year overall, and I can see why. I mean, it's an intense action-packed platformer that combines the epic combat of Sekiro with the kind of fluid platforming that we have experienced in games like Hollow Knight. Now, Nine Souls is more action-oriented, which makes it more thrilling as you combine these really fluid moves to create some epic combos, and the game's boss battles I think really shine the most, and these can be really challenging due to the wide variety of bosses, all with their own unique attack patterns that you have to figure out on the fly to beat them. If you guys are into Metroidvanias with a ton of epic action, this should be a good one to put on your list on Game Pass as it lands on November 26. So interestingly enough, we actually don't have a lot of games coming for December, at least not with a release date, but we have one game that is gonna be amazing, guys, and I am so excited for it, and that's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I've been keeping a close eye on this game for some time. I'm sure you guys have at least heard about it. This is gonna be an epic adventure from what I've seen, and you'll be chasing to solve one of the franchise's greatest mysteries, and that's taking you around the whole world to these iconic cities like Rome, Shanghai, Egypt, and even the Himalayas. And you'll be solving puzzles, and you'll be tackling some insanely challenging obstacles, exploring mysterious places, making some important decisions on the run, and of course, you'll be getting into some epic gunfights as well. Speaking of which, you actually won't be completely alone in this treasure hunt. There's going to be other hostile groups trying to get their hands on this powerful artifact, and it's going to be a hell of a wild ride. This one is set to arrive on Game Pass as a day one Game Pass release on December 9th. Now, if you're looking for another mindless action game that's very similar to the absolutely absurd Goat Simulator, well, we have a new one called Pidgeon Simulator, and well, here you're gonna play as, well, no surprise, a pigeon, and your only goal is to annoy the crap out of humans while taking control of the city from an evil goose. Now, the game looks fun because really that's the whole point. You're flying around the city, you're completing some strange yet challenging tasks, you're having fun with the crazy physics, and of course you'll be pooping on everything, and that's exactly what I thought of when I thought of a game about me controlling a pigeon pooping the crap out of all sorts of crap. This one is set to hit Game Pass sometime in 2024. Now guys, Commandos Origins is really close to my heart. I don't know if you guys remember the game Commandos, but it was a legendary real-time strategy game that is coming back for yet another round of intense missions in a World War II setting. Now, I can't believe it's really been over 20 years since we've seen the last Commando game, but I'm glad it's getting revived. We will once again get that chance to infiltrate enemy bases, taking out big targets, defusing some volatile situations with the help of our special ops team, and Origins does bring back some of that classic gameplay, but it's coming in with much more improved visuals, better modern controls, and some brand new features, and there's already a demo out on Steam if you happen to have it, if you want to go ahead and try it a little early while we wait for this Xbox release. Origin is set to drop on Xbox Game Pass sometime in 2024. We have the game Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. This one's for players who love pulling off insane shots from a distance. Now, this has been around for a while, for some time now, but it's gotten very positive reviews. The game offers a solid variety of missions to really keep you engaged for a long time, along with a great selection of weapons that each feel distinct, and it has this realistic weight and handling. What I really love though about this game is that it makes each mission feel like a really big puzzle where you have to carefully calculate the outcome before taking the shot and then choosing the right target at the right time with the utmost precision. It really makes for some tense gameplay it's just really fun. This one is set to drop sometime this year, probably, if I had to guess, sometime in December. Obviously, we can't forget about Ark 2, even though the devs certainly seem to have forgotten about it. It's been a while since we've heard any news about this upcoming open world survival game. It's really made a huge impact on players with its announcement. It's even got showing Vin Diesel as a new protagonist surviving in the wilderness with his daughter. But just like previous Ark games, you're going to be doing some good survival stuff. You'll be fighting and taming massive dinosaurs, you'll gather resources, you'll craft weapons, and you'll find a way around this prehistoric land without getting eaten, hopefully, by these monstrous creatures. Now, the last we heard about this game, guys, it was set to come by the end of 2023. 2024, but you know, we have to watch out. We might get another delay. Either way, this is one I wanted to add today because I want to keep an eye out because we might be seeing it this year, but we'll have to stay tuned. So we just got a release date for Atomfall, which is being dubbed as the British Fallout game for those who are not familiar. Now, this is a first-person survival action game that takes heavy inspiration from Fallout. It takes place in an alternate timeline where a nuclear event has charted the course in this game's world, and much like Fallout, you're going to be on your own in this post-apocalyptic land full of unknown horrors, probably hostile factions, and for sure a lot of challenges. Now, it's looking pretty good, but we are not going to have to wait a lot longer, as this one is actually set to come out on Game Pass on March 27th of next year, and guys, I gotta say, I'm pretty excited for this one. Now, I have some exciting news out there for those who are huge RTS fans. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition is giving away 3 of its top-rated DLC packs for free as part of its 5-year celebration. If you guys already own the game or you want to go ahead and buy it now, you'll have score expansions worth over $100 at no extra cost, and for Game Pass subscribers, you're actually getting the base game and these expansions completely free. Now, the free DLC pack includes Lords of the West, Dawn of the Dukes, and Dynasties of India. There's tons of new civilizations and epic campaigns to try out, so like I said, for those who are RTS fans, go out there and get ready to have some fun with this one. So we have a couple of games that are joining Game Pass Standard. Now, obviously, these are already on just Game Pass normally, but if you happen to only have Game Pass Standard, you'll enjoy both of these titles, starting with Little Kitty Big City, where you'll explore a big open world as a whimsical cat. You'll be making friends, completing quests, taking naps, and maybe finding your way home. Now, the game has been super well loved. Even if it's not your thing, there is tons of people who've really enjoyed this relaxing and cute adventure. I don't blame them, as it's been thousands upon thousands of great user reviews, and it's one that if you just want something super relaxing, it honestly gets no better than this. The next game is one of my favorites and one that I've actually played a lot this year over at my friend's house and my brother's house. We've had big gaming sessions playing the game Plateup. This is where you manage a restaurant, but it comes as a roguelike because every time you finish a day serving customers, you can do random upgrades to your own place because you get these random little cards. It's chaotic. It's like Overcooked, where you're cooking on the fly for, you know, for people, for making these orders, but the difference is being able to customize your restaurant the way you want versus Overcooked that's more like just doing levels. If you guys have friends or family this holiday season coming by, you're gonna want to play this game. You will not regret it. This has been my go-to, and I love seeing that this is now on Game Pass Standard. With that, guys, we have games leaving Game Pass, and sadly we have some big ones here, which sucks, like Remnant from the Ashes and a lot more. Either way, check out this video right here for the best games you can play on Game Pass today.